In the story, Lucius Naturi, uh, the protagonist, is identified in two different ways. Uh, by her community and by herself. By the community, she is identified as a monster, and by herself, she's identified as a human being. Now, there's a lot of character development that led into herself believing that she is actually a human being. In her community, her town, her family, the doctor, there's not much development. It's very straightforward that they believe she's a monster, and that plays a role into who she believes she is herself. Now, the definition of a monster is an imaginary creature that is typically large, ugly, and frightening. Now, what shaped her into people believing this? We start off the story with her at the doctor. The doctor said that she had a disease, um, but later on quotes that she's a freak of nature. This leads the narrator to be confused. Like, what am I? Why is he calling me a freak of nature? She knows she's different, but she doesn't know much of it. Now, her sister states that no one will marry me if they find out. Um, then she believes that she's a burden. She's a burden to the family. That if she wasn't in the picture, everything would be all right. That there's something wrong with her, just because she looks different. Now, her father actually states that she is a human being, but goes ahead, and you could say he got the doctor away he summoned the doctor from a faraway place so no one would find out. There'd be no rumors. Um, Now, he could say this was to protect her, but his family was well respected. The name was well respected. So, if he really thought he was a human being, I believe that he would support his daughter and try to protect her in a way that to make it obvious to the community that she is a human being. But he went away and tried to hide it. So I do believe a part of him believed that she was a monster, something that he had to hide. Um, Her grandmother was completely, blatantly a dick, and she basically would state that um, she was a curse. She stated that the narrator stated, once she held my head underwater in which the dirty clothes were soaking while she did it, praying while she did it. And she did this to get the demon out of her, the monster out of her. She even hung garlic cloves on her door because she thought she was this terrible being just because she looked differently. Her mother, a little different. She cared for her, but in a different way. Um, she cared for her because she brought her into this world and no one cared for her. She kind of felt like she was helpless, that she had a duty to care for her. She knew um, no one cared about her, um, but she sort of knew she was a monster, and she felt helpless, that she had to do this. So she took care of her, um, her whole life, just kind of why does this have to happen to you? Um, she states, "Who will take care of you when I'm gone?" Now, this leads into where the narrator starts, um, her character development starts to begin. And all this with her community, she wasn't developing. She was confused and felt a burden. She states, the cat kept me company. He was the only creature who would be close to me. Now, she's confused that why is an animal the only person who I'm closest to? So all this is going on, and she's not learning. She's just in the dark. Everyone is treating her this way, and she doesn't know why. But um, she eventually tells her mother to go, and that she's done enough, and moved in with her sister. She states, the narrator says, I began to explore my limits, my power. I found I had a great deal more of it when unseen. So when people didn't see her, she started to learn about herself. She started going in the woods, scaring people. Um, she became like sort of an adult when you leave the house and you get a job. She learned about herself just like most of us when we turn 20, 21. We start to realize this is life. We have to take a step. She enjoyed scaring people. She found life to be fun. She started to understand how the way people acted. Um, so she let her mother sell the house. She stole potatoes to to eat, and so we came to a part in the story where she's in the woods and she sees a man, and the man is with a woman, and I believe that they were having sexual intentions, whatever, and that the woman stood up from the man, and she went over to the man. So I feel like it was like a human nature thing where she had a sexual desire, and so she went on top of him and bit him. He opened his eyes and saw what she was. It states, he saw the pink teeth, my yellow eyes. He saw my black dress fluttering. He saw me running away. He saw where. He saw this monster, and he knew exactly where she's going. He knew who it was. He told the townspeople. Now, the townspeople used to think it was a sickness, but they didn't want to get close to her. They knew she was a monster. They went over with torches to go kill her. Among her was her sister. This proves the fact that her family never really, at least her sister, never really believed that it was family. It was just someone in the way. She had no problem giving her up for the townspeople, for her new family, because she was a monster. She wasn't actually her sister, is what her sister believed. Now, in the end, she knew she was a human being. She lived. She learned. She was no different, but she just looked different. She knew that. So she ended up killing herself. She brought the cat with her because they thought she would do the same thing. And she went in, she states, perhaps in heaven I'll look like an angel, or perhaps the angels will look like me. She wants the town people to understand that it's not about how you look. It's about what's inside, and I'm no different from everyone just because I have pink nails and yellow teeth. And so that's basically it. That's her character development. Yeah.